guys, it's Matt here, and I wanted to share my thoughts on Nexuiz with you. And yes, I realize it's spelled funny, but the voiceover in the opening cinematic confirmed that it's indeed pronounced Nexuiz. Now, I'm posting this 2 days before the game comes out, so I haven't actually had a chance to play online with other human opponents yet. I've only been playing offline against AI-controlled bots so far. So with that in mind, this isn't an official review, but I thought I'd go ahead and tell you what I thought about the game so you can decide whether or not you want to pick it up when it comes out. This is the third title in Microsoft's House Party promotion on Xbox Live Arcade. And it's an arena-based first-person shooter, which initially began life over a decade ago as a freely available Quake mod. But this new commercial release is brought to you by Illphonic, which I found interesting to learn that it was co-founded by musician Raphael Saadiq of Tony fame. And that isn't all that important, I just thought it was interesting. But the game's lineage is felt immediately when you jump into a match. It's intense and fast-paced, and the game's design sensibilities are clearly rooted in this bygone era where there was no sprint button because you already moved so swiftly in the first place. Nexuiz has all the trappings you'd hope to find in a Twitch-based shooter. Cool weapons, power-ups, jump pads, and teleporters all make an appearance. But the most interesting addition is what they call dynamic mutators. And these are power-ups that provide a somewhat random twist on gameplay for a limited amount of time. They could be positive things like a higher jump or a stronger melee attack, or even jetpacks. But they can also create negative effects that hamper your opponents, my favorite of which was probably the inverted controls. And though these effects only last for a brief period of time, I felt like they were incredibly effective at spicing up the otherwise relatively straightforward gameplay with some much appreciated variety. The most striking thing about the game is easily its graphics, though. The gameplay and design choices may be old school, but the graphical fidelity of this game is decidedly new school. It's powered by the gorgeous CryEngine 3, and this is probably one of the best looking downloadable games I've seen. It's hard to find too many negative things to say about it, but the story is thin and quite frankly, it's just stupid. But that's not something I'd hold against it, because there's no need for a story in a game like this. You've got a red team, you've got a blue team, they shoot each other, the end. There was something about the audio, though, that didn't quite sit right with me. The music is excellent, which I kind of would expect when your studio co-founder is a renowned musician. But the sound effects just felt a little bit tinny. For a game so fast-paced and intense, the sound effects just didn't quite seem to pack the punch needed to match that intensity. But, even having said that, it's hardly a deal-breaker. At only $10, I think it's pretty easy to recommend to anybody with even a moderate level of interest in competitive online first-person shooters. If you long for the days where the likes of Quake 3 Arena and Unreal Tournament were ruling the roost, you'll definitely want to give Nexuiz a shot. The one major drawback is that there's very little to do in the game offline. It's got bot matches, but that's really about it. So if the concept of the game has you intrigued, but you're not totally sold on it, I'd suggest waiting a week or so to see if it seems like enough people are playing it online to really make it worth your while.